Welcome to an animated tutorial where I hope to help you better visualize your geometry problems. In this video, we are going to calculate the surface area of 3 different types of triangular prisms. If you haven't already, I encourage you to watch my video on triangular prisms, and that will prepare you more for this video. Alright, our first triangular prism has equilateral triangles as bases. This means that all the sides of the triangle are congruent, and from this we know that all the lateral surfaces of the triangular prism will also be congruent. The height of the triangle is 7, the base length of the triangle is 4, and the height of the prism is 8. Now I know this might look a little weird. How is this line a height? By definition, the height of a prism is the distance between its two bases. So whether the prism is standing up or laying down, that distance right there is going to be the height of the prism. We'll go ahead and open this up and view it as a composition of its two-dimensional surfaces. To calculate the surface area, we will find the individual area of each of these surfaces and add them all together. We'll go ahead and start with our triangles. Area of triangle is 1/2 times base times height, which gives us 1/2 times 4 times 7. Now because we have two congruent triangles, we can go ahead and multiply this quantity by 2. Next we will do the area of our lateral surfaces. Our lateral surface has dimensions 4 by 8. Now because all 3 of our lateral surfaces are congruent, we can go ahead and multiply this quantity by 3. And we'll add these together. The 2 and the 1/2 cancel out. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 8 is 32. Still multiplying that by 3 and adding them together. 3 times 32 gives us 96, plus 28 gives us our total surface area of 124. Our second triangular prism has isosceles triangles as bases. Isosceles triangles have two congruent sides. That means 2 of the lateral surfaces of this prism will be congruent. The height of our triangle is 8, the base length of the triangle is 4, the height of the prism is 10, and the length of that side of the triangle is 9. We will open this up and view it as a composition of its two-dimensional surfaces. Now this side of this lateral surface shares that side of the triangle, so it also has a length of 9. We begin calculating surface area with the area of our triangle. 1/2 times base times height gives us 1/2 times 4 times 8. Because there are two congruent triangles, we can go ahead and multiply this quantity by 2. Next, we will do our larger lateral surface, which has dimensions 9 by 10. Now, because there are 2 of these, we multiply this quantity by 2. Last, we'll do our middle lateral surface, which has dimensions 4 by 10. Now because this is the only lateral surface that has these dimensions, we will not multiply this quantity by anything. We'll add all these together. The 2 and the 1/2 cancel out. 4 times 8 gives us 32, 9 times 10 gives us 90, and 4 times 10 gives us 40. We're still multiplying that 90 by 2 and adding everything together. 2 times 90 is 180. Adding these all together, we get the total surface area of 252. Our last triangular prism has scalene triangles as bases. This means that none of its sides are congruent, which tells us that none of the lateral surfaces of this prism are going to be congruent. The height of the triangle is 3, the base length is 4, the hypotenuse is 5, and the height of the prism is 8. We will open up our prism and view it as a composition of its two-dimensional surfaces. This side of this lateral surface shares the height of the triangle, so it also has a length of 3. This side of this lateral surface shares the hypotenuse of the triangle, so it has a length of 5. And the height of all our lateral surfaces is 8. We begin calculating our surface area with the area of the triangle. 1/2 base times height gives us 1/2 times 3 times 4. Because there are two congruent triangles, so we multiply this quantity by 2. Next, we'll do our smallest lateral surface, which has dimensions 3 by 8. We will not multiply this quantity by anything because it is the only lateral surface with these dimensions. Next, we will do our middle lateral surface, which has dimensions 4 by 8. We will not multiply this quantity by anything because it is also the only lateral surface with these dimensions. The last and largest lateral surface has dimensions 5 by 8. And again, because it is the only one of its size, we will not multiply this quantity by anything. We will add all of these together. The 2 and the 1/2 cancel out. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 8 is 24. 4 times 8 is 32. And 5 times 8 is 40. Adding these all together, we get our total surface area of 108.